Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by the first and only Dream Welterweight champion, Marius Zaromskis. Marius, how are you?
Thanks, good, very good.
Marius, it's been a long time since we've seen you in action. The last time you fought in MMA was back in January of 2015, back at Bellator 132 against Fernando Gonzalez. You did have a grappling match about a year ago against Marcin Held, but as far as MMA goes, it's been a very long time since we've seen you in action. Why is that? What was the cause of you not fighting for 4 years?
Sometimes need to make a break and think about your mistakes, and because was why I was fighting, and then in the end I recognized I'm not doing better, so that's why I took the break, and to make sure to understand what I'm doing wrong, to make sure to improve. It sometimes needs time, it's not that easy. So that's why I think last fight I was really disappointed against Fernando Gonzalez. And I thought, I was too much disappointed, and took me, a long time to recover and to feel again good. It's not easy to explain, actually, but I think, sometimes you have to make a break.
During these 4 years, did you ever consider yourself retired? Was there ever a chance that we might never see you again, or was this just a break?
In one time I was thinking to retire, but then when I started thinking retire, but I keep going, and I proving, and I checking myself. Wow, I still feeling good, now it's not time to retire, but I was continue to training, and to enjoy. And then I decide now, it's not time to retire. So I'm still good. I still feel good.
How much time did you take off? Did you ever take off a good amount of time, or were you always consistently training but just not competing?
Always consistency, always training. Maybe I not remember more than 4 weeks if I'm not training. I trying to if I'm not training, then I working hard. Then if I'm not working hard, then I have to train. So either way, either I working hard, very hard, or either I training. I always, always my body needs physical work, and that that pleasure I get from the training. I feel better. So when I do nothing, I feel a little bit sleepy, and I don't like that feeling. So when I go training, after training, that feels feels like I have a drug, feels good. Sometimes before I was doing overtraining, I was too exhausted and too much adrenaline, too hyper, and sometimes it caused sleeping problem, eating problem. So a lot of small things, but it's very important.
In this sport, it's feast or famine. You fight and you get paid. If you don't fight, you get nothing. So during these 4 years, how were you making money? Did you take on another job?
Yeah, that's why, like I said, if I'm not training, I'm working hard. So I'm working hard. I have a little bit carpentry skills, so either construction. I finished school auto electric, and I have car skills. I play with cars, or I play with wood, but each time, if I play too much, I want to come back to the gym. So that's the problem. I would say it's not a problem, but it's you cannot change who you are.
I apologize if I'm overstepping the boundaries here, but I read somewhere that you got divorced. Is that true?
It's kind of, we live separate, and she's in London, I'm in California, so it's kind of, we stay now separate, and for now like that.
Did that play any factor in you not fighting?
No, so I will fight soon. I will fight soon, next week.
Right. It doesn't seem like any final decisions have been made. Are you leaving this open? Is it possible that you could get back together with her? What's the deal there?
We keep in touch. We are friends, we're talking, but you never know what's gonna happen next. Like I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. So we'll see. Couple more years, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you've been away from fighting for 4 years, this isn't the first time that you've been away for a good amount of time. You actually had a 5-year layoff from February 2000 to November 2005. Is that true, and what was the cause of that layoff?
Yeah, that one was, I have a hard time, but I was, training more physically, and at the same time, getting more mental strong, and that was, difficult time for me, very, very poor and very difficult time.
You're fighting again on May 3rd for the first time in 4 years, but it's not with Bellator, the promotion that we last saw you fight in. So, do you still have a contract with Bellator?
I don't know. The Bellator, I was trying to get hard to Bellator. I was keep asking, Bellator, I want to fight Bellator. But it looked like promotion, stay away. I don't know why, maybe I disappointed them last fight and last couple fights, I don't know. But I was really trying, to get to Bellator, to get fight back in America, Then nothing happened. Then I say, okay. Then I say I need to fight. It's time. And I just took first one, I just took the opportunity, where can I fight?
When Bjorn Rebney was running Bellator, you were very active for them. Now that Scott Coker has taken over Bellator, you haven't been active for them, even when you were still in the sport competing. Now that you've come back, and it's not in Bellator, one would have to believe that maybe that has something to do with it, because maybe you're onto something there. Maybe they are a little bit disappointed with you because you're running Strikeforce. You didn't live up to the hype. A lot of people were very excited for you coming from Dream. You did a lot of great things in Japan. You come over to the United States in Strikeforce, and you went winless in Strikeforce, 0-2 with 1 no contest. So do you think that plays a factor at all now that the guys from Strikeforce are running Bellator?
Yeah, because I was kind of depressed for 2 years after Nick Diaz fight. It took me a long time, and even these days I still remember because a lot of mistakes I made, and I disappointed myself, and I disappointed a lot of people, and yeah, that's a really big mistake. Which one I'm paying for? I think so too.
The reason I asked about Bellator is because all the fans worldwide want to see you fight in either Rizin or One Championship. Have you heard from either one of those organizations? Because it seems like a no-brainer that you'd be back over in Japan fighting because you were a huge star there and a champion.
Actually, I spoke a couple of weeks ago with the manager, with Bob Cook. I said, listen, I want to fight. Can you send me the email, to One Championship and Rising? I want to go there. I want to fight, For today, still nothing lined up,
We can't talk to you without talking about your fights in Dream, because those were magical moments in the history of this sport. So many great knockouts you had, so many great moments you had during those fights. Because we're so far removed from that time in your life and in your career, when you look back on it now, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good, or does it kind of make you a little bit sad because you haven't been able to recreate that magic that you had in Japan? How does it make you feel thinking back on those moments?
Yeah, I was feeling bad a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. Because why it's like that, why it's like that, why in Japan good and America not good, I was thinking, but it's all in your head, it's all in your head. It's all mental. Either he can do the same thing, but, when I go to Japan, I feel a little bit different. I feel over there I was so happy, happy. I don't know. That's the main key, to be happy. And when I was fighting here in America, sometimes a little bit depressed, a little bit, tight in casino and like not something exciting, losing that excitement. But when I fly to Japan, I don't know why, but I'm always exciting, like very happy over there. Mm-hmm. Like different atmosphere. But it's you have to find those excitements yourself. It's all in your head. And I understand everything. In Japan I don't understand nothing, and I just get more focused. Mm-hmm. But in America, sometimes I was, not focused too much. Listen to that, and like I have a hard time too. Changing, the place and divorcing, and like it's everything, friends around you, to be positive. It's all, all comes in one. So it's like very important too in private life too, private life and family, your parents, your wife, that's all. Your friends, all need to be balanced and positive around, and yourself. You can make you happy yourself. Don't look negative. Let's say in any positions to stay positive. That's the key. But of course, it's easy to say, but it's not easy to do.
Right. That run that you had in Dream was legendary. It was great. You gave us so many great moments. Of the 3 knockouts that you had in Dream, Hayato Maha, Sakurai, Jason Hai, and Ho Bei Mei, what do you think was the best one of the 3? Because at first, I always thought, it's the Sakurai knockout because he was the best fighter of those 3 guys, and he's a legend, and he was the favorite to win that tournament. A lot of people thought he was going to beat you and then go on and win in the final and then become Dream Welterweight champion. And you came out of nowhere that night, knocked out him and Jason I. So I always thought that it was that knockout. Then as I kept watching those fights, I was like, you know what, maybe the Jason Hai knockout was your best knockout. But now I'm thinking the Ho Mei Bei knockout was your best knockout. So settle this for me. What do you think was the best knockout you had of those 3? Because I'm torn.
Yeah, that's kind of. I don't know. Jason guy, he catch good. I think he was trying to shoot my legs, and I catch him on the way. Mm-hmm. So I catch him. I catch him. Very, very good position and angle. So, and the Korean guy, I catch him. He was keeping his hand too close to the head. That's why I catch him behind his head. Mm-hmm. And for me, all those 3, all the same, because you're not thinking that minute, that second, that when it happened, you're just like, wow, and still not thinking too much, and today it's done. It's like, I like all of them 3, all those 3. It's like those three knockouts, but now it's for me more difficult to land because all people keeping hands up.
Right.
Yeah, after those 3 knockouts, it makes more for me more difficult a little bit because Marius Zaromskis, keep your hands up because high kicks, and it's like more difficult to catch them. So very happy. That same thing makes me more difficult.
That's what you said before your fight against Nick Diaz. You're like, it's going to be very difficult to kick him in the head because he has his hands so far out. Do you remember that?
Yeah. He keeps so high the hands. I should go for body, not for the high kicks.
Yeah.
Body and low kicks. But I was too angry. So you cannot be angry in that sport.
Now, I personally love those 3 knockouts they had in Dream, but a majority of the fans say your best knockout of all time was the knockout that you had in Sweden when you fought against Bruno Carvalho and you had that somersault kick. Talk me through that. Tell me about that kick. Tell me everything. What made you go for that? Because you're a wild man. You do all these kind of crazy things. So how were you able to land that one?
Yeah, I planned it. I was actually, in this fight, he was bigger than me, but I was feeling so good, I was feel so relaxed, and I see he's coming, and I was, easy to avoid his punches and, whatever he's doing, because I was so, my mind and my body was working together, had a good feeling. And then I planned it, I knew that he is kind of good jiu-jitsu guy, I planned it before end the round, I will do something crazy, either way, if I miss, I will, I need, the round will finish quick, and I'm okay, so it's, he's not gonna submit me, because he is black belt jiu-jitsu, and he is good ground, and I planned it, before ends the round, and I just, something different, just boom, and and I catch him. Wow, and I feel the blood, and I catch him. I just need to finish him. I catch him, and after that, I just finished him. And then, done. Job done.
I saw a picture of you a few months ago. It was a picture of you and Sakuraba together, and you're grabbing his ear. Where was this picture taken, and what's the story behind that? What did you say to him when you saw him after all these years?
We was kind of joke, but kind of not joke. In a joke, always you have little truth. Sakuraba told me, you know what? I'm gonna rip your ear back because you did to me. I say, you know what? No way. I'm gonna rip you another ear. It was kind of just joking, each other. He said, oh, give me my ear. No, I say, don't play with me. I will take another ear from you. But it was kind of, we just was, of course not few, but, like a joke. And and he grabbed mine. I said, no. I will take another one. Yeah. That's how I still remember too.
Yeah. That's so funny. When I saw that picture, I was just on the floor laughing. It's just such a great picture. And you're a really, really nice guy. I've interviewed you a few times before, and you're a really, really nice guy. But when you get into the ring or when you get into the cage, you just become a different person. Do you feel that way? Do you feel when you get into the cage that you're not the same guy that you are outside of the cage?
You have to be different guy, because in reality you have to be normal,
Mm-hmm.
Like in real life, you can be normal, you can relax, you can talk, joke, because real life is a little bit different. But when it's coming that minute, we have to a little bit change, we have to, that's the way it is, that MMA. If you be too nice, it's not good. Maybe, you can get, injured or something. So you have to be prepared. You have to be, ready. Focus and concentrate. That's not the same thing. Like it's not the same thing like you talking with your girlfriend in a room. It's like it's coming. Intensity, and you got a little bit pressure too, everybody get pressure, the fans, interview, everything, you have to deal with that, fight is very easy, for example, just go on the street, bam, 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 that's it, it's very easy. Everybody can fight on the street, but in a ring, for the sport, real sport. So it's a long procedure, before fight, and you have the training, and then you have to interview, then you have to wait last day, you have to from morning, wait until all day, until 5 stars, maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock in the evening, and it's all that mental game, It's all psychological. That's why the most difficult part.
When do you flip the switch? Is it after you weigh in, the build up to the fight? Is it when you're walking out? Is it when you're warming up backstage? When do you flip the switch where you go from the nice guy to the raging demon? When does that happen?
Yeah, I keep working on that, I keep working on it. Before I was switching more early, but now I'm just trying to switch the last moment, soon as I step in, or soon as I go into the cage, then you can switch. But like before, I was switching too early, and that can cost too, like burning. You can burn. So you have to switch the last moment possible. That way, you not waste your energy.
Speaking of wasting energy, is that why you never look across the ring or the cage at your opponent when they're doing the fighter introduction? Because I always notice that you always have your back turned to your opponent when they're introducing you.
For today, it's like, for me, it's not very important anymore, Before, like, I was trying to just to load up, maybe, but when you're ready, doesn't matter, you're back, or you can turn your back, you can turn your, face, doesn't matter, so. But, like I said, I was learning, keep trying all different things, That's the life, you're learning every day.
Throughout the history of MMA, there's been so many great trilogies. You think of the 3 fights that Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture had. There's Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard. There's Gilbert Melendez and Josh Thompson. There's Sam Stout and Spencer Fisher. There's George St. Pierre and Matt Hughes. There's Shinya Aoki and Joachim Hansen. There's so many great trilogies MMA has had. You participated in possibly the strangest trilogy of all time. Your 3 fights against Joachim Spirit Wolf, 1 in Strikeforce and 2 in Bellator. The first one in Strikeforce ended in 6 seconds due to an accidental eye poke and was ruled a no contest. Your second fight was a doctor stoppage in between rounds 2 and 3 of a really good fight, and a lot of people were disappointed that the fight had to end. And then the third fight, a lot of people thought it could have gone either way. A lot of people thought you won the fight. A lot of people thought he won the fight. It was controversial, that split decision in the third fight. So what do you remember about the 3 fights you had with Joachim Spirit Wolf?
Yeah, that's because he is always, the guy, he was always wanna punch hard and take me down. But, but I was, always preparing, to defend, take down. Mm-hmm. And, only my mistake was, I a little bit stayed, a little bit too tense, like my body, a little bit too tense. If I can a little bit more relax and, play, different, then, could be different. But, sometimes, makes you a little bit more tense, and maybe your wrestling and jiu-jitsu not that very good, and sometimes you don't know, your opponent, what level his jiu-jitsu and what wrestling. Maybe it's that, a little bit plays to be a little bit, tense and to not too much explosion or relax and do whatever you want.
How did you get the nickname the White Mare?
In London, that's from London Street Finals, when I started, making knockouts in London, and one of my buddies, he's like, he's like Nightmare. No, he's not Nightmare, he's White, he's White Man. Yeah, funny.
See, I like both of your nicknames. I like the White Mare, but I also like Raging Demon. I'm torn. Help me out again. What nickname do you like better?
Yeah, like that's a good question for me too. Sometimes, White Mare, some Raging Demon. Yeah, Raging Demon I like because reminds me of Japan. And White Mare too I like because it reminds me, London. I don't know, like, but I'm white, so let's say white man.
Right. Right. You've had such a great career. I mean, you got great nicknames, you got great knockouts. People, they always dream of having great knockouts, and you've had tons of them. Some guys are just waiting for one highlight reel knockout, and you have tons of them. Some people are waiting for one good nickname, and you have two. So you've had a blessed career, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
One thing I've always wanted to ask you is, can you make 155? Have you ever thought about going down to lightweight?
No. I can do 160, maximum I can do 168.
Okay.
167, but not 155.
Oh, okay. I was always curious about that because, some of these welterweights, these guys are getting really, really tall. There's some guys who fight in the welterweight division who are 6'2", and you're only 5'9", so I thought maybe you thought about going there.
Yeah, they forced me, like my coach. Even I started fighting 170, but my weight was 169. That's how I started welterweight. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but that's how I start. And my coach is, come on, Marius, you have to go for 155. Yeah, I feel like, I said, yeah, later. So later, that never happened. But I don't know. I feel good my way. I have enough power, I feel okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that good. It's not going to be too easy. It's not going to be more easy. If I go down there, then I will beat everybody easy. No, it's again different game, I never fought that in weight division. So, and now it's like getting, older and older, so it's like, it's like too much risk on the plate. And I have too much cutting, my way now, it's, it's kind of like more difficult even to cut,
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You're originally from Lithuania. This fight on May 3rd is going to be taking place in Lithuania. You haven't fought there in 11 years. The last time you fought there was back in 2008. How excited are you to be going back there and fighting?
Yeah, before, Lithuania, I know everything in Lithuania, but now, so long, and I have two feelings. So, same time I feeling like, that's my home, but same time I feel like I like a gust, it's like, some different country, because I so long time away from Lithuania. I have two feelings. One feeling like, I'm home, that's my home, but second, it's okay too, it's interesting and something new, you're fighting different country, but same, you have memories from this is your country.
When was the last time you visited there?
So last summer, I go sometimes, a little bit.
When was the last time you lived there? Because I know you lived in London at one point in time when you were training with London Shoot Fighters. Now you're living in California because you're training with AKA. When was the last time that you lived there?
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, since 2005.
How are you enjoying California?
I love California. It's like, I don't know, I love, it's sometimes this year was a little bit too much raining, but I miss rain too, I'm okay with rain, I enjoy rain too, because I'm from Lithuania, there's all the time, raining, and here people a little bit, stressing out driving, because raining, slippery, but I have fun, that's my fun, and now, especially today, weather so good, very, very good. I love California. That's why I stuck here for 10 years.
On May 3rd, you're going to be fighting at MMA Bushido 77. This fight was just announced to the public. I hadn't heard about this fight until about April 19th was the first time I caught word that you were going to be fighting on this card, because the promotion put out a highlight video saying that you were going to be fighting on this card. So how long did you know you were going to be fighting on this card? How much time have you put together training-wise for this fight?
I was, like I said, I was training, and I was trying to get any fight, won championship, rising, and Bob Cook say, he have some fight in August in Sochi in Russia. But I was like, I was keep training and training. No, I want to fight now, it's time, like. I was calling everybody, and then Donatas, the manager, he said, okay, yeah, let's do it. I said, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I'm ready. So, okay, let's do it. and looks like it was happening,
Before this fight came about, how long were you looking for fights? When was the first time you're like, okay, you know what? I've taken some time off. I've been away from the sport for a little while. I'm ready to take another fight. When did you start looking for fights?
Like, I start slowly thinking, to more and serious. I would say about 1 year ago, like about 10 months ago, something like that. Like already I start thinking, like in 1 year frame. I would say maybe 10 months, maybe 9 months, or, maybe 11 months, maybe 7 months. So in that frame, I start thinking, I want more and more serious.
So what was the holdup? Because you're one of the most exciting fighters in the game. You're a promoter's dream. Any promoter would be lucky to have you fighting for them. So what was the holdup? Was it opponents? Was it money? How come you couldn't get a fight in 1 year?
Yeah, looks like, last couple fights I didn't do exciting fights, and looks like promotion not very. They are not very exciting to have me, man. That's only one reason I'm thinking, because not the last Fernando Gonzalez only decision, and I have my loss, and I don't like that fight either, and those couple last fights, not exciting. And looks like promotion, they're getting, looking, like show business, like looking for more exciting fighters, more knockouts, and it's Marius, it's okay, just keep him last, I don't know.
But you're only one fight away. You go and knock somebody out with a vicious head kick, you're right back to being one of the most exciting fighters in the game. Like that surprises me, because we've learned over the course of many, many years watching the sport that somebody is just one big moment away from being right back to where they were. You look at guys who have fallen on hard times, they come back, have one great performance, and then everyone loves them again. So I'm kind of surprised that no one's taken that approach, because we've seen that formula work before in the past. Does that surprise you at all?
I think that nobody believes me anymore. That's I need to prove. So and that's why I took any fight, just to come back, just to show and come back. I think that's the best way, to show, to prove, just to fight, and then the results will show, and then the promotion maybe will start thinking different.
Do you feel any pressure going into this fight? Do you feel any pressure to prove that you still are that guy that was world champion at one point in time?
Always it doesn't matter what fight you have the pressure, and you have to deal with that pressure. So I'm dealing with that pressure. I'm kind of learning to deal with the pressure all the time. It's always the pressure. It's less or more, and I think it's normal. Because if no pressure at all, if you're too relaxed, then it's not good too. You have to be, I think, everything, how to say, not too much, not too little. So everything, normal.
What are the stakes for you in this fight? Like, if you don't go out and have a great performance, if you don't perform the way you think you will perform in the fight, would you consider retirement? Would this be your last fight if you don't go out there and have a great performance?
You got me, yeah.
No, I'm only asking that because I want to see you fight forever. I'll pay any amount of money you want to see you fight. I love watching you fight. I've really loved talking to you today. Like you're one of my favorite fighters. So I'm asking you because I don't want to see you go. I'm not trying to get you with anything. I'm just asking you because I don't want to see you go. I want to see you stay around forever.
Yeah, like I said, it's I still training, I still feel good, you know, and I still gonna fight. So I, you know, like I said, always, you know, for today, like sometimes I little bit thinking, you know, what to do, you know, the best performance fight or the winning, because you know, I have now two options. I can do an exciting fight or I can do winning fight. Sometimes, you know, like sometimes I like even before that fight, like what should I do, you know, to do more exciting or more just winning, you know, and this is, you know, very difficult line between to win or to do exciting fight. But like in Japan, I always was happy, and that's the key, to be happy. And maybe it's more important to be happy and to do more exciting fight than just do the points and take down and hold him, and you know, you're winning. So those two things, you know, very difficult to deal for me. But I know one, you know, like if you too tense your body, it's not good. And to have a more loose body, you have to do a more exciting fight. You have to be more happy. But you can put a little bit that, you know, you don't need to forget too to be smart and sneaky.
I've looked all over the internet. I emailed the promotion. They haven't gotten back to me, so I really know nothing about this event. I know very little because I've been given very little information. So who are you fighting on May 3rd, and what do you know about your opponent?
So I'm still waiting for my opponent's surname. And so it's supposed to be happen now, like, because I spoke, you know, with the promotion, and he told me, oh, we're still waiting. Looks like not many guys, you know, are ready to step in, and like, I'm still waiting for the name. I said, please send me the name. You know, I need to a little bit, at least to look how he's moving, what he's doing. You know, he's a wrestler, or he's kickboxer, or he's a boxer, or he's, you know, or he's jiu-jitsu, or whatever. You know, I'm still waiting, and I hope I will get that answer in 4 hours' time.
Oh boy. Well, on one hand, I'm kind of relieved because I thought I was slipping because I wasn't able to find any information. But on the other hand, I'm a little bit worried because I would think, you know, you should have an opponent by now. That's the only fair thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I worry too. Because, but I want to fight this May 3 anyway.
Yeah.
If they not find my weight division, I tell him, now, listen, guy, give me the bigger guy.
Maybe now you can make your 155 debut. Maybe they'll be in a pinch and they'll need a lightweight. See, maybe you are destined to be a lightweight.
Yeah, that's okay. But sometimes, you know, like I said, it happens for the reason. No, everything happens for the reason. What I can explain.
Well, if everything goes well and they get you an opponent and everything's fine, what version of Zaromskis are we going to see? Are we going to see the wild man? Are we going to see the guy doing backflips into the guard? Are we going to see the guy doing somersault kicks? Are we going to see that guy? Is that what you're planning to bring to the cage on May 3rd?
Yeah, like the old Marius Zaromskis and the new Marius Zaromskis all together.
Well, we look forward to seeing this. Hopefully they get you an opponent because I'm really excited. I can't wait to see you. It's been too long. It's been 4 years. I can't go 4 years without seeing you fight. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like just yesterday you were fighting against Fernando Gonzalez. I didn't remember that was 2015. I thought that was like 2017 or 2018. It feels like it was just yesterday, but I'm glad you're back, and I'm really excited about this fight. One more thing before I let you go. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, like, I want to say, like, sorry for the fans, you know, if I disappointed with my fights. I'm trying my best to come back and to, you know, to do the best performance, like, again, you know. Thank you for support, everybody, you know. Thanks very much.
Marius, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. No problem.